Rock 100.5 the KATT, KATT, Rocklahoma 2023, and it's the last night. The sun is finally setting, and a breeze is coming through here. It's not quite as hot as it was earlier.
It is.
But when you guys were on stage, it was blistering hot.
I felt it entirely because the problem was the sun was already back, and it was just shining on me on the back of my head
The whole time.
The whole time. Yeah, there was no escape from this.
I was watching you, and I was not envying you being up there just getting beat down with that sun.
The crowd paid us off.
By the way, sorry, I'm with Eugene from Jinjer. He is the incredible bass player from Jinjer. The first time I saw you guys was at the Diamond Ballroom in Oklahoma City, and you were on tour with Devil Driver. And I had never seen you guys play before. I'd listened to your record online, but I'd never seen you play. I was blown away, and you are one of the best bass players I've ever seen in my life. And I was a bass player in a punk band, and I was not a good bass player. I was terrible. And so I'm watching you play and just geeking out hardcore. Dude, you got to have serious stamina to do that. You're not just playing root notes. Like, you're seriously getting after it melodically in a part of the complexity of the song.
Well, thanks a lot for a good feedback, first of all. Honestly, I cannot compare the way I play now to the way I played back in 2018 when you saw our first time, because I am happy and proud to say that I actually developed and progressed a lot since then. Yeah,
dude, you blew my mind. I left a Jinjer fan right then.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah, but talking about stamina, there is a good example. Actually, after a while of not playing, let's say we played a tour and then we went on a time off, and then coming back and playing a tour or just a show, it's really hard from the perspective of a stamina. Playing one song, 2 songs, 3 songs, it's all right. You actually doesn't feel like a difference. You just play. But when it comes to a set, like at least 30 minutes,
right?
Wow, then you feel the difference. You feel that you are not fit enough. You are not in the shape, and this is why the rehearsals are important.
So how do you train when you're not on stage or you're not practicing your bass? Is there anything you do, cardio-wise or workout-wise to stay in shape for tour?
Sport-wise, of course, well, but I wouldn't say that it works for everybody, because it's actually me only in the band who does a bit of sport. I do, yeah. I actually practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
And just work out, street workout style when I go to the nearest, area with bars, just do pull-ups and things like that, dips.
So now that you guys are, living here in the United States and back touring since COVID has opened back up and you can get back in the swing of things, how excited were you to see the look on the fans' face the first time you guys got back on stage after everybody had been locked down for so long?
Actually, we were one of the first bands who jumped back on touring after COVID. So it was back in 2021. When all the major restrictions were off, we immediately toured, mainly because we had the tour soaring up in the sky, because we announced this back in 2019. We were supposed to play in 20, then the COVID started and everything was postponed. So as soon as we could, we played the tour because tickets were sold and people were waiting. And
I was excited to see live music again.
Everyone was. I was super excited and thrilled just to play live for people. And of course, it was the moment of happiness when you finally go on stage and you do what you do best. Yeah, what makes the others just feel good. And again, you have the ability to have the connection between musicians on stage and fans in front. This is priceless.
What's your favorite bass player of all time?
Oh, I cannot pick one because it depends. Well, I think in metal there is no one who jumped higher than Ryan Martini from Mudvayne.
Okay, absolutely. I can see the influence in your playing with that.
Well, yeah, huge influence. Yeah. And I still believe that there was no one who was better, in my opinion. And it's not only because of the technicality and,
But
there are guys who actually can play. I'm sure
his tone, his bass tone was so different than anyone else at that time when they were coming up.
Exactly, bass tone and the musicality of the bass lines.
100%.
It's not really important, in my opinion, to play 200 notes just within a couple of minutes. It's not really important to play fast and technically difficult. No. It's important to make music, and it's important to make your bass sound. First of all, contribute to the song, create the groove, and sound interesting. In my opinion, these are the most important things. Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell me what is coming up in 2024 for Jinjer.
Well, we are done with touring within the months, because after this we're going to play the Canadian tour, and at the end of September we are done with touring. We will be off for quite long, I think a year or so. Well, the next album, it's already in the works.
Okay, I was about to ask if you guys have already started pre-production and all of that.
In some way, it's not really completed, but there are songs written, and well, it's time for us to go to the studio and really, work hard on this. It's nowadays it's important to say that it's not only about music. Yeah, if it was only about music, it would take us a couple of months just to make it ready. Maybe 4 months.
You guys don't make copy and paste formulaic music. You guys make full-blown compositions.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But what I'm saying that on top of music, on top of songs, nowadays the band has to think about production, music videos, promotion, and all of these things, and that's why it's taken so long. So
there's more stuff you got to put together rather than just the music.
Yeah, but first of all, music.
What are some bands that are coming up that you're really into right now?
Ooh, it's very hard to say. Honestly, maybe I'm getting old. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's very hard for me to pick new bands which really hit me.
I asked that. I'm 44 years old, and I asked that question because I'm finding it harder and harder for things to really blow me away, to really
That's true.
Like when I saw you guys play, I'd listen to your music and I'm like, wow, they're really good. But when I saw you play live, I was like, holy shit, this band is amazing. And so it's hard for me to gauge sometimes. So I always ask that questions because I sometimes get answers where I've never heard of the band at all and I want to go check it out.
I have to say that honestly nowadays, actually live shows are the only criteria for me which can actually make something or a band really, apply to me, hit me. Because, records do not really represent anymore. Very often, especially with modern heavy music, it's so much polished, it's so much sounding the same as the others, all sampled, nothing really true, that records do not represent, in my opinion, in my eyes. I do not want to sound elitist, but it's just like that.
And at a concert, there's a few thousand other people who are feeling the same connection to the music that you are. And so I feel like that adds to it.
That is true, but also from the point of view of musicianship, you can really see and hear what is going on. You can really feel it then. So that's why it's only live shows. I have to say I've got a wonderful example. One of very good bands which I've been listening to for many years, and I can say that I'm a sort of a fan, but I never had the chance to see them live. It's Mastodon.
No shit.
Yeah,
You've never seen Mastodon?
I up until recently.
Bro, they're so good live.
Yes, they are not really. It's not even important to say that how good they are live. They are themselves live.
Yes, it's no bullshit.
And this is what differs them from the others, is that I can hear on the record what I will hear mostly live, especially in terms of playing the instruments. And it's incredible, and this is the only way it should be.
I agree 100%. I think I'm a bigger fan of you now knowing that you're a Mastodon fan as well.
It's a great band. It's a great and unique band.
So when you guys play these festivals like Rocklahoma, I know you guys have played a ton of the metal festivals and stuff like that. Do you
Only in Europe.
Do you get to see any of the bands while you're there?
Well, of course. Well, it's more than that. I started seeing bands I grew up with, my idols, only when I became a musician myself, because we come from Ukraine. Nobody ever came to play there, so I never had the chance to see my favorite bands, and I only saw all of them just sharing the stage, sharing the same festivals with them. Yeah.
Was that a surreal moment for you?
Many times. Many times. Well, my favorite band of all times is Opeth.
Okay.
And I only had the chance to see them live back in 2019. And it was a magic moment for me.
Were you side stage or did you go out in the crowd? Oh,
Side
so
stage.
even bigger moment.
Even bigger moment. And I was lucky actually to be there because I was standing on the side of Martin Mendes, the bass guitar, and I knew half of the parts. And it was really incredible to see how flawless he plays, how in the pocket they are with the drummer. And, well, it's fantastic. And
that's one of the things that I want to do that's like on my bucket list is to go to a few of those. There's certain metal festivals in Europe that I want to go to just as a fan, you know, like
well,
working.
I was never at the festival just as a fan, really. And to be honest with you, I would like to experience this. Maybe next summer. I will be off. We're not touring. We're already kind of said no to all the offers, so maybe I'll go to one of the festivals.
I'll tell you what. If you want to come to Rocklahoma, we'll have a camper. You can camp with us, and you can help us interview bands all Rocklahoma.
Sounds like a good plan.
I like
that. But I will be in Europe next summer for sure.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe the summer after that. We'll try for that.
We'll see. Yeah.
We're with Eugene from Jinjer, Rocklahoma 2023. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for a good interview. Really enjoyed it.
Super nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you.
Yeah.